watch the market unfold.
Hosted by Matt Riches. $1 trillion tickers.
$1 trillion tickers.
Watch the market unfold.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good
$1 trillion
evening.
tickers.
Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.
Watch the market
Peace,
unfold.
blessings, financial freedom.
$1 trillion tickers.
Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. It is Wednesday, May 6th, 2026.
YouTube and Twitter. I think I'm just going to stick to my lane, invest in the things that I know, and just invest there. Look at Sprouts.
Whoa. Excuse me for that. All right. Technical difficulty. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. Let's start over. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. We're coming into this session with strong upward momentum. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are pushing record highs. Tech is leading the way, and AI-driven earnings are setting the tone for this market. We also just got some fresh labor data, and the early reaction is positive. So buyers are still stepping in. They're not stepping away. I track the headlines, the data, and the market levels, so you don't have to. This show is for education and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. All right, let's get into the mindset before we get into the market. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I'm the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable, I am skilled, I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. All right, now next let's transition into some news, data, and overnight developments. Excuse me. At 5:15, we had the ADP Non-Farm Employment Change. It was forecasted at 118K. The actual was 109K, slightly below expectations, but the market is still moving higher. So that's a good thing. Next, the markets are rallying into the open. So it's looking like we're going to be opening at record highs once we open at 6:30. Technology and AI-related names continue to lead and are supported by strong earnings and forward guidance. Global events, we have geopolitical tension remains in the background, but it's not slowing the current rally. Right now, the market is prioritizing earnings strength over macro risk. All right, now let's pull up some of these earnings on the chart, y'all. All right, let's start that out with AMD. AMD went crazy, y'all. AMD, y'all. Look at this. This was the previous high at 362.79. AMD hit 432 in the pre-market, y'all. Just incredible. AMD beat earnings by 6.2%. Beat on revenue by 3.5%. Just wonderful numbers, wonderful guidance, and as you can see, they got a lot of price target raises too as well. So yes, AMD is moving the market to the upside this morning. Next, we had ANET. ANET beat on earnings by 7.6%. Beat on revenue by 3.5%, but as you can see from yesterday's close, it is down 9%. Next, we have MicroStrategies. Okay, this is one of the worst earnings misses I've ever seen. They missed on earnings by 4,337%. Just incredible. And that's because Bitcoin was down for almost the whole quarter. So, yep, that's what's going to happen with this company. They beat on revenue, though, by 2.9%. And even though their earnings were that terrible, they're actually, well, they were up 3%, but right now they're barely over yesterday's close. And then in the pre-market, we had Disney. They beat on earnings by 5.1%, beat on revenue by 1.2%, currently up 5.9% from yesterday's close. Next, we have Uber. Uber, terrible miss on earnings by 81%, missed on revenue by 0.5%. Though it did run up crazy. At one point in the pre-market, it was up 10%. It's currently up 5.2%. So even though that terrible miss, they must have had some good guidance because it still ran up. All right, next we had CVS. Beat on earnings by 17.7%, beat on revenue by 5.7%. Currently up 5.7% in the pre-market. After market closes, we do have AppLovin, Arm Holdings, Fastly, and Snapchat all have earnings after the market closes. All right, next let's get into Robert Greene's daily law for today. There we go. Title, Keep the Mind Moving. Daily law, respond to the moment, thought to thought, task to task. Let the mind remain fluid. As children, our minds are constantly active, curious, and open to new experiences. Over time, we become more rigid, often getting stuck on one idea or perspective. Maintaining a fluid mind allows us to adapt, explore new opportunities, and respond effectively to change. When it comes to long-term investing, markets are constantly evolving, and rigid thinking can limit long-term performance. Investors who stay flexible can recognize new trends, like the rise of AI infrastructure, and position accordingly. Adaptability allows you to stay aligned where growth and capital are actually moving. When it comes to day trading, at the open, price action can shift quickly as new information gets processed. Traders who stay locked into one idea often miss the real move. The edge comes from staying fluid and reacting to what the market is doing in real time. All right, let's bring it all together as we get into the 3 levels of support and 3 levels of resistance for each of our $1 trillion tickers. We have strong momentum, powerful earnings, stay patient, stay disciplined, execution over emotion, process over prediction. All right, let's get into these charts, y'all. All right. SPY, SPY in the pre-market is at 729.79, which is above the all-time high. So levels of support, I do have 727.96. Then the pre-market low is 725.73, and then the all-time high, previous all-time high of 725.06. To the upside resistance, I only have the pre-market high of 731.70. Next, we got QQQ currently in the pre-market at 698.14. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 686.23, and then a previous all-time high of 682.78. To the upside resistance, we got 689.50, followed by the pre-market high of 693.69. Next, we got the VIX. The VIX did drop all the way to 16.18 before some volatility stepped in, and now it's at 16.71. Next, we got NVIDIA, currently in the pre-market at $200.31. To the downside support, I got 199.65, 199.15, 197.83, and 197.10. Then the pre-market low of 196.17. To the upside resistance, I got 201.55, 202.50, and the pre-market high of 202.70, and then 204. Next, we got Google, currently in the pre-market at 395.60. To the downside support, I got 394.09, a previous all-time high of 392.86, and then the pre-market low of 392.75, and then 392.05, 389.80, and 388.10. To the upside resistance, I got 396.30. We got the pre-market high of 397.96, and then 399.15. Then I got a level way up here at 403.76. Next, we got Apple, currently in the pre-market at Apple at 282.02. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 281.20, followed by 280.60, 279.60, 278.80. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high, which is very close to our 4-hour level at 283.30, and then 284.70, 286.30, 287.22. Next, we got Microsoft, currently in the pre-market at 409.80. To the downside support, we got 409, which is a weekly level, followed by the pre-market low of 407.41, 406.65, and then 402.60. To the upside resistance, we got 410.80, 411.20, 413, which is a pre-market high, and then 413.60. Next, we got Amazon, currently in the pre-market at 273.69. To the downside support, we got 273.30, 272.40, and the pre-market low of 272, followed by 270.20. To the upside resistance, we got 275.15, 277.10, 277.25, which is the pre-market high, and then the all-time high. Next, we got TSM, currently in the pre-market at 401.29. To the downside support, we got $400.25, followed by the pre-market low of 397.02. Then we got a 4-hour level at 396.75, and then 395.25. To the upside resistance, we got 401.50, 404. Got the pre-market high of 404.89. And then we got 405, 405.50. Next, we got AVGO. Currently in the pre-market is at 435.30. To the downside support, we got the previous all-time high of 433.41. We got 432.80. We got the pre-market low of 430.53. And then we got 428.70. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 438.84, followed by 439.55. And both of those are in price discovery lane. Next, we got Meta, currently in the pre-market at 605.50. To the downside support, we got 604.10, 602.75, and 600 even. And we got the pre-market low of 598.50. To the upside resistance, we got 606.10, 607.90, 609.92, and then 610, and then 613.70. Next, we got Tesla, currently in the pre-market at 389.86. To the downside support, we got 389, 387.40. The pre-market low of 387.22, and then 386. To the upside resistance, we got 392, 392.88, which is the pre-market high, 394.60, 396, 396.70, and 397.80. Next, we got Walmart currently in the pre-market at 130.20. Their downside support, we got 129.80, 129.70. Pre-market low, 129.50. The upside resistance, we got 130.40, 130.88, 131, 131.75. Next, we got Berkshire B currently in the pre-market at 466.64. The downside resistance, we got 465.80, 465.40. Pre-market low, 465.27. Then upside resistance, we got 467, 467.50, and then 469.30. All right, thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Set your alerts for those prices, and we'll be back at the market open in about 35 minutes. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.
Peace, blessings.